So post-pandemic, we have noticed developers now opening and integrating technology. Earlier, it was all got to do कि कितना unit बिका, कौन broker बेच रहा है, that's good enough for me, rather than invest in technology.
Gone are the days where these larger, people who have ancestral money and developers who are only in the process of buying the land and doing it, where they will treat them like slum people.
So there has been a recent report where it's been quoted demand in increasing in high value properties in Mumbai. So we have seen that over 56% homes sold in MMR region have been priced above 1 CR. So what do you feel the factors are in this in particular? What is driving buyers' preference and shifting them towards in demand for spacious and premium apartments?
See, one of the first things which people observed over so many years is a house is something which you don't buy frequently.
Hmm.
You might buy your cars frequently, you might buy your watches, your mobile phones, iPads of the world probably every year. House is something which you would want like a longer, at least I see, and nobody selling the house less than 10 years time, 7 years time
Hmm.
frequently, unless your sudden demand changes or your requirement changes. These houses that are selling in Mumbai, actually, what you mentioned, 1 crore is actually not at all now called as a high ticket size.
Hmm.
I am seeing transactions above 100 crores, 200 crores, 300 crores, and frequent transactions. If you see an average MMR pricing now, starting from Borivali to South Bombay, the average price, I don't see it anywhere less than probably 2.5 crores now.
Yeah.
So there's a sudden transition which has happened, which was actually long due.
Hmm.
Because if you see the history of Mumbai city, the apartments used to be large, like an average 1 BHK
Hmm.
used to be 700 to 800 square feet. A 2 BHK used to go almost in 900 to 1000 square feet in the earlier days. I'm talking about 15 years, 20 years back.
Hmm.
Prices started escalating, budget started decreasing, size started getting compromised.
Yeah.
Now 1 BHK has reached 365 carpet.
Hmm.
In a 365 carpet, having a bedroom, a living room, forget dining is not possible only. And a kitchen. Kitchen is also in the form of an alcove, which is like connected to the living room. People started living that life.
Yeah.
In COVID, when everybody started hitting each other in one house because they could not go out anywhere, no privacy, somebody's on the phone, somebody wants to sleep, somebody wants to study, not possible. People understood that rather than spending exorbitant money onto other lifestyle expenses, first buy a house. Because a house is something which will keep you protected, secured lifelong.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would always be renting out, you would always be finding out spaces, or your requirement will keep on changing every 2 years, 3 years. You just got married, okay, you want a bedroom for yourself. Now you would be planning kids in 2, 3 years' time, you need another bedroom for your kids. What is happening eventually is people are now wanting a full stop solution. So even us, like, we have stopped almost doing, in fact, we've stopped doing 2-bed residences. We are only doing 90% of our projects as 3 beds and beyond, where my apartments are starting 4 crores minimum. And that 4 crore is an economical size in that location. So people are not finding it expensive, rather they are seeing it as a momentum to pay off. Like for example, when I'm doing Tardev project, Aradhyavan, it's a 6.5 years project. The apartments over there are starting at around, I think, 8 crores. Now, what a person is seeing is I don't have to pay this 8 crore upfront. I get a staggering payment cycle over next 6 years. And in that 6 years, if I can afford to spend probably 2 crores, 3 crores more, seeing the escalation in my salary, if I'm a salaried person, or seeing a business income growing, because everybody aspires to grow business by 10% to 30% average year on year. When you're doing that, you will be able to afford a 4-bed residence. Lot of customers who are currently staying in a 2-bed residence have bought a 4-bed residence with us because they are seeing that after 5 or 6 years मुझे बड़े घर की जरूरत पड़ने ही वाली है, तो उसको आज अगर मुझे पेमेंट प्लान मिलता है एंड फ्यूचर में इस तरीके का बिल्डिंग फिर से बनने मिलने नहीं वाला है, बड़ा घर ही खरीदो. And this is a typical mindset of every consumer.
Hmm.
People who are buying their first homes, which is new couples, new entrepreneurs who've made their money and now feels to reside in a separate house apart from their family, they have got a modern requirement of, say, if they want a two-bed residence, they need two attached bathrooms, they need one powder for the dining,
Hmm.
they need a small balcony where they can relax in the evening, maybe attached to their master bedroom or their living room.
Hmm.
And to do accommodate these kind of things, your two bed has again started to reach, which was typically gone down to 550 carpet,
Hmm.
600 carpet. Again, we have started to building two beds in
Hmm.
few projects which we have, 750 to 800 carpet. So you're going back to those days where
Hmm.
people see that yes, living in a larger house is more practical, easy. That's life.
Hmm.
Rather than compromising on that, you would compromise probably 2 years not spending money abroad.
Hmm.
You would compromise not spending on a car.
Hmm.
This savings can be done 3 years, 5 years down the line also.
Yeah.
Let me first secure a house. So the customers are coming in talking these things to us, and that's when we realize that okay, everybody wants storage, utilities, balconies, a small dining space where the family time is not getting compromised. And over and above these, the other lifestyle factors
Hmm.
where you don't have to spend 50 lakhs to 1 crore buying a membership of a gym khana,
Hmm.
which is not even yours.
Yeah. But when it comes to pricing, as you said, 1 crore up, it's like become like a nominal thing in Mumbai real estate market. And now I've been also told it comes under affordable.
Yeah.
1 crore मतलब आपका affordable में आता है, which if you see cities like in Gujarat and other places, it's a luxury house in 1 crore. So I want to understand, is it because when developer is purchasing a land, especially be in Mumbai, they might purchase it for 5, 6 acres and pay like 150 crores for it. And to build in that kind of land, the kind of pricing they are coming out is it's quite unfair. I get it that you have spent a money in certain purchase of that land parcel, and to provide a building and to provide that kind of facilities, you are charging a certain amount. But the pricing in Mumbai real estate market has just gone in a different tangent, right? It's now being compared to New York market, where they are saying कि even आपका घर छोटा भी हो 1 BHK का, even 400-500 square feet भी हो, it's good enough to go in 2 crore. एंड अगर आप थाने में जाएंगे 2 BHK का देखेंगे जो 600 स्क्वायर फीट का है, इट्स ऑल्सो गोइंग इन 1.5 करोड़. So don't you think the developers only have created a, I would say, demand for a different pricing altogether for this particular market?
See, demands, we are building in Miami also.
Hmm.
We are just launching a project near Miami Beach where the apartments are two beds and my two-bed residence would start at around $2 million. So we are still far away from New York, Miami, I would say.
Hmm.
But yes, the prices have increased in Mumbai when you compare it to other tier cities. Um, One of the reason is the population increase in Mumbai. If you see the demographics, the population that's increasing in Mumbai and the population of Gujarat, the population of Hyderabad, the population of Delhi
Hmm.
versus us. Mumbai has always been a hot favorite for India.
Hmm.
Mumbai, like Sapno Ka Sheher. That's
Yeah.
the title what we have earned as Mumbaikars, right?
Yeah.
Now, this Sapno Ka Sheher is for what? Like everybody dreams to buy a house
Hmm.
in Mumbai. There's always a demand to buy a house in Mumbai. If you are not increasing the price, the inflation has killed the industry already. From past 10 years,
Hmm.
in fact 13 years now, 2010 is when the crisis started.
Hmm.
When the market crashed, the industry was almost on this verge to wipe out.
Yeah.
In fact, if you see the senior players who were there as contractor
Hmm.
or developer in those days, you will not even hear those names anymore, right? So to be up with the market, if the developer does not increase price and sustain that growth,
Hmm.
somebody else is going to. And if somebody else is going to,
Hmm.
everybody thinks that why not me?
Hmm.
And tomorrow, if you are not making money,
Hmm.
you will not have enough cash flows to pick up another project.
Hmm.
Yes, it's not that खाली मुंबई में प्राइस बढ़ा है. बैंगलोर,
Yeah.
चेन्नई, एनसीआर, यहाँ पे बॉम्बे से ज्यादा प्राइस बढ़ा है.
Hmm.
पास्ट 2 साल में इफ यू कंपेयर, factually these cities have done a lot more price hike than Mumbai. Mumbai, the price hike has happened only in the uber luxury segment.
Hmm.
Ticket sizes starting like 4 crores, 10 crores, 20 crores and beyond जो apartments है,
Hmm.
उसके prices बढ़े हैं because अगर आज price अगर नहीं बढ़ाया हमने, जब आज मौका है
Hmm.
and people can afford to pay these prices,
Hmm.
हम grow नहीं करेंगे because this is the time when industry is flourishing.
Hmm.
Past 2 years everybody's made good money, everybody's got good cash flow, everybody
Hmm.
has delivered projects, the industry is sustaining. And if you see the real fact of India,
Hmm.
we say agriculture is the backbone of our country,
Hmm.
right? How many agriculturists are billionaires today?
Yeah.
And if you see real estate,
Hmm.
how many real estate are billionaires today? A lot more. So who's contributing to the economy?
Hmm.
Second, if the industry is not making money, which is real estate,
Hmm.
steel industry will collapse, stock market will get highly impacted. I just done a recent survey. Where do people park their money apart from gold,
SIP and yeah,
right?
mutual
So
fund.
now mutual funds and SIP
Hmm.
started. अच्छा ये पैसा आया कहाँ से?
Hmm.
सैलरी से. सैलरी का एस्केलेशन आया तो सेविंग्स हुई.
Hmm.
अगर सैलरी आपकी बढ़ती नहीं तो सेविंग्स कहाँ से होती? अच्छा सैलरी बढ़ी क्यों? क्योंकि कंपनी ने ग्रो किया.
Hmm.
It's all a circle connected.
Right.
It's very important that after 10 years this industry is growing
Hmm.
because the costs, if you compare of 2010 and the costs if you compare of 2023 as of today,
Hmm.
मेरे हिसाब से कॉस्ट में एस्केलेशन कम से कम एवरेज 90 से 100% हुआ है. आप स्टील कंपेयर कर लो,
Hmm.
आप कॉपर कंपेयर कर लो, आप एल्यूमिनियम कंपेयर कर लो, आप कंक्रीट कंपेयर कर लो,
Hmm.
ये आप टाइल्स के कॉस्ट कंपेयर कर लो, ये सारी चीजें स्काई रॉकेट. बट क्या 100% प्राइस इंक्रीज हुआ रियल एस्टेट में इन द लोअर सेगमेंट? तो क्या वो नहीं हुआ है?
Hmm.
मीरा भाईंदर यूज्ड टू सेल at around 12,000, 13,000,
Yeah.
and now it has reached 14 to 18,000.
Hmm.
मुलुंड 5-7 साल पहले जो 20,000, 22,000 पे था,
Hmm.
आज भी 22,000, 24,000 पे ही है. घाटकोपर मार्केट जो 32,000, 35,000 के प्राइस पे था, घाटकोपर ईस्ट,
Hmm.
वो आज भी 35,000, 38,000 के प्राइस पे ही है. बट प्राइजेस कहाँ बढ़े? निपेंसी रोड, तारदेव,
Hmm.
मलबार, बैंड्रा, जुहू, where people came out with an exorbitant requirement also. If you see in past 2 years, I think India has gained a number 3 position
Hmm.
in the world for billionaires. Now, the moment you gain that position in the world economy,
Hmm.
your requirements are always not going to be small. But obviously, you are wanting probably a 5 bed at Juhu or a penthouse at South Mumbai or Bandra someplace.
Hmm.
So these people are willing to pay the price for the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So the economical sector has still sustained the same price growth.
Hmm.
Whereas the tier 2 cities, these economical prices have shot up by 30-35%.
Yeah.
Mumbai is not shot up. So there's a balance which is happening between the eco sector and the ultra luxury sector,
Hmm.
where people are playing it well, and I think every developer is doing good. And if the developers won't sustain,
Hmm.
like I said, the other industries are at stake, right from steel, cement,
Yeah.
because if you see the consumption, how many infrastructure projects are going on around your house,
Hmm.
which is consuming the steel and cement, and how many redevelopment buildings are going on around your house. So who's the actual consumer of these products? Is the developers.
Hmm.
If they will not sustain, every industry starts getting impact indirectly or directly as well.
But as you quoted an example of SIP or mutual fund, even if I invest in those, I get a good return, right? So when I invest in Mumbai real estate market compared to if I have purchased apartment in tier two city, I rather see appreciation happening there, where in this particular market it's completely stagnant. या तो बढ़ेगा, या तो बिल्कुल नहीं बढ़ेगा, या तो stagnant रहेगा, कम तो होने वाला नहीं है. But as an investor, I'm not going to get a return, right? I'm not going to get any appreciation value out of that. So that's why many youngsters and many target group of between 25 to 38 have said Mumbai may I rather live in rental so that I can keep changing my pin codes and have different kind of lifestyle basis on my salary rather than buy a house here.
For how long?
Hmm.
Question one. You've got married, you've got your kids. Are you going to keep on shifting your house, your kids' school, your wife's social circle, your social circle? It does matter in the upbringing and your quality of life. If you start thinking that I'm going to shift my house probably every 2 years, you're not going to be enjoying the life for quite long time, because today you're staying at Bandra, tomorrow you might be in the culture of Juhu. What's the upbringing you want to bring to your child? He would be in a cultural shock every now and then.
Hmm.
Secondly, what's going to happen is you're paying off the rent. Why not pay EMI? Because rent is complete outflow. EMI is an inflow for the asset that's going to come in, right? Now, like you said, कि appreciation क्यों नहीं है?
Hmm.
Appreciation journey has started now.
Hmm.
Things were stagnant, like you pointed. I agree fully.
Hmm.
But now luxury has grown. Luxury के बाद number eco housing का ही है, because luxury people have made money,
Yeah.
which are the conglomerates,
Hmm.
जिसके अंडर हजारों एम्प्लॉयज काम कर रहे हैं, हजारों इंडस्ट्रीज इनडायरेक्टली डिपेंडेंट है. These are creating wages for daily people,
Hmm.
where they are also growing. So eventually their size requirement and lifestyle is also going to change. And the more the demand is going to get created in the city,
Hmm.
the prices are going to shoot up. Secondly, what happens is the examples of the tier 2 cities which have appreciated now,
Hmm.
but if you compare their growth of 20 years,
Hmm.
they were the most stagnant cities in the country.
Yeah.
Because what happens is whenever there is some global recession or crisis or anything happening,
Hmm.
what happens is people tend to shut down industries. People go back to their natives में उनके पास 99% खुद का घर होता ही है.
Yeah.
तो जब आप टीयर 2 टीयर 3 सिटीज में वापस जाते हो, आप नया घर खरीदने की नहीं सोचते.
Hmm.
आप नेटिव सिटी में इसके लिए जाते हो बिकॉज आपको लाइफस्टाइल शायद मुंबई की, बैंगलोर की नहीं अफोर्ड हो रही थी.
Hmm.
I've seen a lot of people making that move post COVID, where they had lost
Yeah.
unfortunately their jobs, or unfortunately their factories were shut or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
They went back to native, but I did not hear a single person saying कि मैं गांव जाके या मेरे नेटिव जाके घर खरीदूंगा. मेरे
Hmm.
पास घर ऑलरेडी था. So whenever there's a recession happening, what happens is these cities
Hmm.
are affected the most.
Yeah.
Not just for the buying process, but these cities have a self-sustaining demand. And how many times, or you have you ever thought in your life, I want to retire in Ahmedabad, or I want to retire in maybe Telangana, or any
No,
of
because
these?
we are used to city life, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, the convenience is
So
there
that
all the
city is
time.
going to pull you back again and again.
Yeah.
Once you've lived in Mumbai, would you love to shift to Rajkot or
Yeah.
Surat, or any of these smaller towns, or
Hmm.
even in Maharashtra for that inside? Will you go to Kolhapur, Solapur, Sangli,
Hmm.
Nasik? You will not think of going back because you are so attached with the lifestyle and the
Hmm.
life that you've been living in. You will come back here. The moment you will come back here, that means the demand is coming back to city.
Hmm.
So your investments will always be safe in the city.
Hmm.
And how many of y'all are actually wanting to just invest in a house and make money out of it and not actually live in it?
Hmm. So there been a recent Maharashtra government has proposed a recent amendment where they are saying कि जो redevelopment वाली societies है जिसमें homeowners अगर उसमें से majority ने vote किया कि redevelopment में जाना है तो they will consider that and whoever is creating problem जैसे एक दो होते हैं homeowners कि they are not agreeing to the terms and all they are, the law says that you can evict them. So this particular change in this Maharashtra owner act, what do you see how this landscape will change the Mumbai real estate in the redevelopment sector? Also, do you foresee any potential challenge or conflict that can arise out of this law?
So first, let me thank the Maharashtra government for this excellent step which they have taken. Now, why I'm saying excellent, not just because it gives us projects. What's important is because we've been doing redevelopment all our lives. I started
Mm,
my career with redevelopments, right? In every building, you cannot tend to satisfy every single person. Everybody has their own perceptions. I respect that. But when these perceptions become a nuisance to
mm,
the existing society people who are majority in the favor of getting into redevelopment,
mm,
cannot be acceptable. Because lot of time we see this tactics used by people
mm,
to make money with their wasted interest from developers. This is the biggest industry inside
mm,
which is open,
mm.
that whenever developer tries to get into redevelopment, you will find a bunch of people
Yeah,
always trying to take undue advantage
yeah.
of becoming a blockage, of becoming a nuisance. I am not in the favor of redevelopment. He will write letters to random departments. He will try to, you know, agitate people.
Mm,
He will try to speak wrong things about the developers and try to, get them against the development.
mm,
But what is he ideally gaining out of it is he is spoiling the entire momentum
mm.
of the industry. One, with this judgment coming in, the Maharashtra government states, depending on the policy to policy, somewhere you need 70% consent, somewhere you need 51%
Yeah.
consent. That under the force majeure, the government will evacuate these people and compulsorily they have to vacate. So people who are in favor of, just because of one nuisance
Mm,
in your society which you could not go, and I have seen societies unable to develop for past 10 years, 20 years, because there was one person who was slightly powerful amongst the other guys and trying to take a control
mm,
and did not let the development happen. But with this thing,
mm.
they immediately went into redevelopment because they were majority were in the consent and in favor of the development. Changing the landscape, it will help the actual society people who are affected, and these guys should understand these poor people are literally staying in a dilapidated structure. Tomorrow, because of your wasted interest, if that person's ceiling falls on him when he's sleeping in the night, or his poor child is there and if he meets with an accident and somebody gets accidental fracture or something, the lives are at stake.
Hmm.
For what? Just for your ego pampering that it's because of me the redevelopment happened, or because of me for charging some money, which is again not right. Because
Hmm.
if you want money, what fault is of the other guys just because they're not raising voice?
Hmm.
They should be literally being held responsible, and there should be further more stringent actions being taken by the government. This stepping stone is an excellent way of not having the redevelopment getting stopped and stalled for one or two misguiding people. This is a
Hmm.
very good step. And I feel going forward, it will change the landscape tremendously, and you are actually seeing it. If you see in past 2 years or 1 year, the way the landscape of Mumbai city has been changing, you'll see so many redevelopments happening. And in fact, smaller buildings
Hmm.
where larger developers are not very much interested because of the smaller margins,
Hmm.
those are also getting redeveloped
Yeah.
because of these cluster policies, because of these cluster redevelopments happening in. They
Hmm.
can also get benefited of getting a better swimming pool, better lifestyle, better gardens,
Hmm.
getting a larger house. So these steps which have been taken by the government are absolutely phenomenal. And I think these further steps can strengthen the industry and the economics of Mumbai furthermore.
So don't you think eviction of homeowner itself is quite extreme in such scenario?
See, it completely depends on how we take it. Like, yes, if you see it on the sentimental side of it, that okay, मुझे मेरे घर से निकाल रहे हैं,
Yeah.
I understand it's a very strong emotional thing to be adhering to. But if the same kind of thoughts if our freedom fighters had, Why should I sacrifice my life for the country?
Mm.
Everything is happening for the majority,
Mm.
right? Today, our soldiers, a policeman, if they've been thinking on the same terms that मैं क्यों खड़े रहूं धूप में,
Mm.
मुझे क्या मिलने वाला है, रात को तो आप मुंबई कर सोने वाले हो, मुझे क्यों जागना है.
Mm.
See, they have to think in the benefit of everyone. If they are just holding back on to one thing कि नहीं मुझे तो, मैं तो यही जन्मा हूँ, मुझे तो
Mm.
यही रहना है मेरी पूरी लाइफ,
Mm.
मुझे रीडेवलपमेंट होने ही नहीं देना है, वो नहीं होने के कारण क्या है. And
Mm.
it's not that developers have used this as a tactic to vacate these people.
Mm.
We have spent lot of time, months, and sometimes even years
Mm.
to start the redevelopment process.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of developers take these society members to a great five-star hotels, give them presentation and pamper them with good lunch and all. Even after doing all of that, as you pointed, there'll be one or two member always quoting that, this is not happening. Let's see another developer. So that whole energy or the team or everything that was involved with that developer to bring that society in this, even doing that kind of take expense and all of that, he is left like that because of one or two member. They are saying, let's check out market mein aur kaun hai.
See, society is actually the owner.
Yeah.
Developers needs to understand one thing very simple, which I understood in the very first 2 3 years of my career. If you're treating a person, a society guy, like you are a society person, you will
Mm.
never be successful in redevelopment. The way I treat and my company treats is you are my partner.
Mm.
You are contributing your house.
Mm.
I am contributing in barter a new house to you. I am making money out of it. You're making a better flat and a better lifestyle out of it.
Mm.
The day you start treating the person with respect,
Mm.
they tend to understand. We've got cases in the past where we had, like 95% consent and all, but eventually all of these people converted because we satisfied them to the fullest.
Mm.
We have done one project in Ghatkopar recently where the IOD has just been received. We
Mm.
have 100% consent. But when we started addressing the crowd initially, it took us 1 year. But it was worth the effort because when we came in, we got the same issues. That there were a lot of old age people that they were like, it's going to take a longer time.
Mm.
We don't want to get into relocating ourselves and then coming back again.
Mm.
So a lot of people who were like, we are happy with this kind of house. We don't need a lifestyle. We don't need amenities.
Mm.
But when we explain them that it's worth the wait,
Mm.
it's worth what you're going to get, it's worth what you're going to pass it on to your next generation, they do get convinced. It's just a matter of time and how much you're willing to put in. Like we as a company, I'm personally involved in every redevelopment meeting.
Mm.
I meet every society member or even tenants who are
Mm.
not owners personally in the society meetings, where one on one I communicate with them, I explain them the project, I explain them the company nitty-gritties, and eventually they do get convinced. Because see, for them the biggest fear is the moment they are vacated,
Mm.
they have nothing in hand. They
Yeah.
just have to sit in anticipation that they are going to get their house,
Yeah.
nothing else. But when you comfort a person, you make them sit, you talk to them properly,
Mm.
you show them your existing projects, you show them your balance sheet strength, you show them your efforts in transparency and everything, and you properly satisfy them,
Mm.
they will take little time, but it will happen. Because redevelopment is not a process. You put in money, I bought the land, chalo,
Yeah.
let's develop.
Yeah.
Redevelopment is a constant process
Mm.
of convincing probably 100 owners,
Mm.
getting them onto one page,
Mm.
convincing them to go and give their lifetime of a saving house to us,
Mm.
demolish it, and in the anticipation of waiting for the new house, trust us. And that's what we've been successful in doing. And people now, we recently won another project where, we've got we got voted against the other players who were significantly larger than us
Mm.
in the redevelopment space, purely on the basis of trust. That we got voted by 99%
Mm.
and the other larger players got 1% vote. Now that purely happened because of the convincing,
Hmm.
because of the conviction that we have in the project, because the way we designed, the way we showcased them.
Hmm.
And see, they understand everything. Gone are the days where these larger, people who have ancestral money and developers who are only in the process of buying the land and doing it,
Hmm.
where they will treat them like slum people. They always think that redevelopment में society वाले ठीक है आप side में रहो.
Hmm.
Don't treat them that way.
Hmm.
They are owners. They have full right
Hmm.
to ask you the question whatever they want. They have full right to, have the desires and express them.
Hmm.
Whether I want a swimming pool, whether I want a garden, whether I want a balcony in my house,
Hmm.
let them express. Because if you don't listen to them,
Hmm.
why should they give you the project?
True.
And majority places, our success ratio has been 100% against the larger giants because people saw that comfort with us. So that's more important. How are you comforting the original home owner?
So when you talk about these redevelopment projects, I'm sure you must be also having a certain checklist. ना कौन सी society के साथ you want to carry this project, or how do you come up with that society that you select? This is what MICL going to pitch for, or this is a society we are going to look into redevelopment. Do you have a checklist?
We do follow certain protocols.
Hmm.
What's the most important factor for us as MICL is location.
Hmm.
Um, I tend to select locations, and I'm personally very choosy on which location we want to develop because we carry certain reputation, we carry certain brand aesthetics which I would want to maintain,
Yeah.
and we operate in certain locations only. And second thing is, I don't want to be part of the oversupply crowded market which already exists. So we don't operate in these outside Mumbai zones
Hmm.
where I feel that the risk is higher
Hmm.
and the margins are less. Why work in these spaces? There's abundant supply coming in, there's abundant opportunities coming in, and with our kind of brand and reputation, I am very confident on we would be getting better societies and people trusting us. More, more or less, more than location, also what's important is the genre of people.
Yeah.
Is that the mindset which you would want to work with? It can be any location for that
Hmm.
matter, and that mindset is what is important because with the same set of mindset people are going to be located over here. The newer your home buyers who they trusted you are also going to come.
Yeah.
So are you doing a mixed asset classes, which
Hmm.
again is a big failure in the redevelopment industry?
Hmm.
Say example,
Agree.
there's a 1 BHK guy getting coming in the and you're making a 3-bed house.
Yeah.
They have a little disconnect in their thought
True.
process and theories. So
Hmm.
we don't tend to mix certain asset classes.
Hmm.
We have separate projects for separate genres of people. And what's other important factor is the road width of the project. That's also one of the small points, but it's very important when you're redeveloping because when you redevelop, you are almost doubling the intensity.
Yeah.
Depends on the FSI what you get, but on an ideal scenario, if there were like 50 cars parked in a building, now there are almost 75 to 100 cars.
Hmm.
Are you going to able to handle the traffic?
Hmm.
Secondly, depending on the road width, you're
Hmm.
going to get the final FSI in a way.
Hmm.
So your revenues depend on that. And secondly, the ease of working at that location. Are you working in a place where there's, like too many obstructions around, where your steel truck cannot come in, your RMC truck cannot come in? So
Hmm.
we don't tend to work in these kind of locations where there are these narrow bottlenecks because it indirectly hampers the project life cycle
Hmm.
and then it indirectly hampers the trust on the brand. So that way we are again very choosy on these kind of things.
So post-pandemic, we have noticed developers now opening and integrating technology. Earlier, it was all got to do कि कितना unit बिका, कौन broker बेच रहा है, that's good enough for me, rather than invest in technology. So I want to know in MICL, because you have mentioned that you keep looking for innovation, right? So technology is something which is helping even the customers also, from property management app to what all. So how you're integrating technology by delivering in your project to create a good, I would say, experience for the customer. Also, how you're making sure the operation level in the backend from your side is streamlined.
So what we have started doing is, whenever we envision a particular project, we don't envision this project as per current market demands.
Hmm.
How we've usually done is, we sit on the project thinking what is going to be the trend and the market demand 5 years, 4 years down the line. Now, what do I mean by that is, 5 years back, there was no Zomato. I mean, there was, but probably negligible people had it on their phones.
Yeah.
5 years back, the use of Uber was negligible.
Hmm.
Now it is more. People with cars are also still using Uber. You have restaurant right downstairs, but you're still using Zomato. Why? You're getting some benefits
It's convenient also.
and these kind of things, where
Yeah.
stress free, you're getting cut fruits at your house,
Yeah.
you're getting Swiggy, you're getting these big baskets of the world.
Hmm.
These guys have actually become an integral part of your society. So what we started doing is, I have created specific pick up and drop off points which does not disturb your daily activity as a homeowner.
Hmm.
So there are dedicated spaces that we have crafted within the project where your Zomatos and Swiggies will get parked
Okay.
right from their bikes. And the moment that person comes in, we have got technology infused where the moment the person comes into the complex, he is being recorded right then and there.
Hmm.
He's part of the entire logbook. And sitting at your home, you can give the permission with a barcode system where he can scan
Hmm.
and he can enter the entrance lobby.
And this is the in-house technology.
No, we are using companies like MyGate. We're
Okay.
using companies like Park Plus.
Hmm.
Now, Park Plus is also one of the very good companies which we've come across. So today's scenario, everything is digital money, right? How
Yeah.
many times do you remember last time pulling a 100 rupee note out of your wallet?
Yeah.
GPay?
Hmm.
Even to pay the mall parking charges or the toll, you've got FASTag now. So
Hmm.
what we've done is, we've integrated this FASTag
Hmm.
with the gate opening system of your complex.
Okay.
So what happens is, the same FASTag on your card,
Hmm.
the same RFID gets read by the Park Plus system,
Hmm.
and the boom barrier opens automatically. You don't need a watchman coming in every now and then opening the gate for you.
Nice. Okay.
And a lot of times, what happens is, the owner's car comes in, the boom barrier opens, and you go.
Hmm.
But if you're not an owner and if you don't have the car registered in the complex,
Hmm.
the unwanted vehicle does not enter. Tomorrow, what happens is, the gate is open,
Hmm.
your watchman is standing outside, he allowed the car, somebody
Hmm.
parked it,
Yeah.
there might be some accident.
Yeah.
But here, the boom barrier will not open.
Hmm.
You need a physical clearance by a person coming in and checking, okay, your RFID has got spoiled or you bought a new car.
Hmm.
You register into the society first.
Hmm.
The moment you enter at the entrance lobby, the picture of the person who's come to visit you
Hmm.
stays part of the log. So, for instance, even if somebody comes at your home, you do not recollect, you don't have a picture of. A
Hmm.
lot of times, you might be seeing these robberies and
Yeah.
these accidents happening in the house.
Hmm.
We are trying to avoid these things by having minuscule intervention at the residence floor. So, in majority of our complexes where we are controlling right now, we do not allow any delivery guys to go up to the house. There's a separate concierge desk and a
Hmm.
separate log off location at the ground level
Hmm.
where you go and drop off your pizzas, your Amazon parcels, your Flipkarts of the world.
Hmm.
And one time in the day, the concierge service guy, which is your watchman, for example,
Hmm.
will come and drop it off at your doorstep.
Okay.
So if you've got pizzas and all coming in, you send your house help
Hmm.
to come down and take the pizza, pay the cash on delivery system,
Hmm.
and you take the package. But if your package is not that important, you've gone out and your parcel has come like Amazon
Hmm.
and nobody's at home,
Hmm.
all the packages would be stored safely at the concierge service.
Hmm.
And only one time in a day that will be delivered, because that helps saving energy also. Because imagine on a 30-story tower, 100 families staying,
Hmm.
average you will have 50 parcels coming in every day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So more or less one lift is occupied just by these things.
Hmm.
So what we are doing is, in the non-traffic time, when people are either in the offices or
Hmm.
they are going to come back from the office, before that time, we deliver these packages, which saves money also, and people are happy with these kind of
Hmm.
efforts being put in. And at the same time, you have a privacy, you have a security,
Yeah.
and you are rest worried about that tomorrow if you are here and your child is at home alone,
Hmm.
there's no unknown person who's going to come and give the pizza.
Hmm.
It's your own building watchman or the concierge guy who will come and deliver it at your doorstep.
Nice.